What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jharol from Bank of Jharol. All right, and in this video, I'm just gonna talk out loud. All right. So before I get started, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. This guy on YouTube growing his crypto, showing y'all how I'm doing it. If y'all want to do it, it's up to y'all. It's on y'all. All right, making it known. Okay. So before I get this started, I'm just gonna talk about like a little bit of my strategy. I don't want to give y'all the whole like because people just don't have time for all the stuff that I do, right? But I'll give you guys a few things just to look for and why I say the things that I say. All right, so we're gonna talk about hypes. We're gonna talk about the high interest platforms that have brought you here, right? The ones you've been looking at, the ones you've been thinking about trying, um, the ones that you heard about, right? So I just want to let everybody know, so everybody knows this. These platforms are not for anyone that has an issue managing and dealing with risk, right? And what that means to me is if you see something and your thought process tells you, I'm going to put everything I have into this thing, then this may not be the space for you. All right. If you're the person that may not have a lot um, financially or anything like that, and you're trying to better your situation, there are ways, if you manage the risk, that you can over time get to the place where you are starting to make um, more money for yourself. But it doesn't start with just blindly throwing money at something, right? So these hypes, and I'm going to show my screen in a second because I'm not going to tie this video to any one of the hypes. I'm just going to say, BOJ sit down. This is for the ones that actually like watch me, right? The ones that actually like have the notifications on. Because I know there's a few of y'all out there, all right? So this is for you guys, okay? I'm not tying this to WATERMINE. I'm not going to tie this to CryptoStair. I'm not going to tie this to MINERIFT. I'm not going to tie it to any of the ones that I tell you guys not to share with your friends and family in your house. The BITNEOs, the BITXTRAs, the what else is there? The ZOLIBITs. You know, I'm not going to tie it to that, okay? But I'm going to talk about them, okay? So let me go ahead and I want to get my screen ready to share first because I didn't really have it up yet. But, um, somebody reached out to me, and I'm not that good with getting back with everybody, so forgive me. But I was able to get back with this person, and they told me about an experience they had with BITNEO. All right, and I'm gonna share my screen so you guys know what BITNEO looks like. Okay, so BITNEO is one of the most popular platforms right now. Right, has the 7 to 12 daily forever that we talk about is yeah, not really forever, right? So they invested a good amount of money and a couple $1,000s, few $1,000s. I'm not going to like disclose what the amount is because I don't even know exactly how much, but um, they were supposed to be making a certain amount a day while this program was running, right? So say hypothetically they put $10,000, they want their $1,000, right? So over time, after maybe a couple withdrawals seamlessly, right? They started to experience that they were getting withdrawal limits put on their stuff. Like, you know, I'm supposed to be getting this every day while this is going on, right? So this has happened to me, and it's happened to a lot of other people. Okay, as these platforms continue to go on and they get longer and longer and longer, um, they really, I believe, it's to save their own tails, to save the longevity of the program. They put withdrawal limits on people that have invested a lot of money, and of course, they don't. Those people aren't really. There's two sides of those people, right? Some of those people are people that go and get referrals, right? So they've made their money pretty quickly, right? They've made their money back pretty quickly, especially if they got in on day 0. This is day 17, okay? So this thing has really kind of lasted. It's got almost a $500,000 in it, all right? The people that win are the ones that get in early enough to get their money back, right? And if you get referrals, you win-win, all right? So the win is really in this high-risk space. If you get your money back, you won. Okay, I just want to make that clear that that's my assessment. So if I get in one of these platforms on day 0 and I share it with the world, and the world brings me my money back in a couple days, I won. That's not even the maturation of the contract that I set up. So that's why I'll put in a risk management amount, right? Sometimes I'll put in 100, sometimes I'll put in 5, sometimes if I believe enough in my own heart, I'll put in 1,000 or more, but that's just me. Everyone has to do what they can do, okay? That's what I'm talking about, risk management, guys. You have to manage your risk. If you have $10,000, you don't just put 10,000 in and just say, oh my God, let's hope for the best, right? You say, okay, well, what I would say is, all right, well, let me maybe put like 1,000 in, okay? And I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to, because I believe in it, I'm going to follow the rules and the guidelines of the program. I'm not going to share it with my friends and family in the house, but maybe I have some investor friends on the outside or something like that that may want to see it. I tell them the rules. I make them understand that this platform is not a platform that you can do with multiple people in your house. That's just not, they will shut you down. So we got to be very transparent about all of the rules of these platforms. I will always personally tell you if there is a specific IP rule on a platform like this. One thing that I've noticed, and this is just a sidebar, that most of these platforms are moderated in the Telegram groups by the same people. Okay. So if you build relationship with those people, then you possibly could get in on some of these opportunities early, right? My relationship was built off a mistake. I was naive and I thought that I could um, sign up somebody in my house. I just didn't know, right? So they shut my account down. I lost like 3 grand, and it was just a wrap. But I learned. I learned a lesson, and sometimes learning a lesson is you gotta learn it the hard way. Sometimes you gotta hit your head on the wall, all right, to realize that it's a wall and it'll bruise you, all right. But if you take that risk to just kind of open the door instead of running into it, you might could learn something. So this is what I learned. I learned it's worth the risk for myself. And if it's worth the risk for you, great. If it's not, great. Because that means you're managing your risk. All right. When you decide to say no to something, do you guys understand how many opportunities I've said no to? And something I've said yes to that screwed me? You have to manage your risk. All right. So that's what I try to do. Okay. When it comes to these platforms, and back to that story that I was talking about with the person that got a withdrawal limit placed, that happened to me as well. Um, in an opportunity called Top Toast that's no longer around. Same moderators, same people that are running the Telegram group, right? My account had a withdrawal limit placed on it, and that was one of the things that let me know that either they were trying to manage their risk and just keep me accumulating at a certain point, and if it lasts long enough, I'll get my money back. And if it doesn't, then hey, I didn't get all the way back in the black, and that would be a learning lesson. All right. So you just learn, and then after a few of those, you decide if these are for you. I mean, the way that I try to present things is um, that if you can get in on one of these, if I can get in one of these early that I like, and it has the moderators that have been running successful projects like this previously, I mean, success leaves clues. All right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be a part of the ones that have success with those moderators that have success. All right, and um, you know, that's just how I present it. So for those that watch me and wait for me to present new things, um, I try to present them early, and anyone that comes in later, it just kind of is what it is. It's day 17. We can always hope for the best, but I always make sure I tell everybody that this could be here today and it could be gone tomorrow. All right. So everyone knows that with every time I talk about this, it's very important that you get that mindset because you'll deal with loss as a learning lesson instead of a loss. All right. That's just how I feel about it. And that's just one of the platforms. Okay. So BITNEO has placed withdrawal limits, and I don't know what this person is dealing with. I don't know what this person is dealing with. I don't know what this person is dealing with. Um, and here's another thing, guys, because you deal with the same administrators in some of these projects, and you'll notice this. It's not just something like if you guys go into the Telegram group, you guys might see some of the same names. All right, like this video if you've experienced that. All right, you'll see the same people, and you really got to handle each situation with kindness because they run the show. They can block you from the Telegram group. They can do a lot of stuff. All right, they can tell the owner to shut your thing down. Because that's another thing that adds to the risk of this space. They can close your account. They can just close it. If you start raising hell, if you start complaining a whole lot, and that's why I say to everyone, listen, manage your risk, okay? And kill these admin with kindness. Just say, okay, I understand. Thank you. This is that. Oh, how long is it going to take? Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much for helping me. I have this question really quickly. How does this work? This. Because some of you might experience that they could be a little bit sarcastic. All right, and I know that it might get under you guys' skin a little bit to deal with these sarcastic kind of people, but you have to understand they've been doing these things for a long time, and they hear what they call the excuse, like when people sign up multiple accounts not knowing. When I did that, they told me, "Oh, we've heard that excuse all the time." You know, we don't care. These are the rules of the space. All right, you either follow them or you don't. Sorry, you either follow them or you don't. All right, and that's just the reality of the situation. So, and then getting back to like how much invested, right? Do some do some math, right? So if you know that these programs could possibly withdrawal limit you at 150, do the math on 150. All right, how much is it going to take to get 150 a day? All right, if I invest $4,000, or let's see, what gets me to 150? All right, so maybe I cap out on these type of high risk programs that are like this daily forever stuff. Maybe I don't ever invest more than 1,500 in the platform. That way, I'm safe on a withdrawal limit for my own personal stuff. Or if you think a withdrawal limit is going to be $100, manage your risk, guys. I've seen withdrawal limits of 50, 100, 150. You just got to decide how much you personally believe that this is going to pay out going forward. Okay, that's why you'll see sometimes I'll put in 300, I put in 500. All right. Um, but the one thing that I'm doing that some of you may not be doing is just talking about it on YouTube, guys. Whenever people reach out to me, I really do encourage them to say, "Hey, look, be a talking head on YouTube." All right, you never know who you will touch. You never know who you will reach. You never know who matches your vibe about things. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys may say things differently to a different demographic of people, and what it can do for you is, yeah, you're gonna have more people kind of seeing you, or you don't even have to show your face. Really, you just talk. You know, I encourage everybody to just do that. You never know who's going to be watching or listening, and you take the risk. You're already taking the risk with your money. You might as well just take a little bit of time and just kind of talk about what you're doing, and then what you'll start to find out is that people will gravitate to you. They'll start to trust you, and um, they'll jump in on some of these platforms with you. And that's why guys, I couldn't do this without you guys. Like, not even in this platform. Like, even if I had a whole bunch of family and friends, I couldn't even get them to do it because in this platform and platforms like it, like BitXTRA and ZOLIBIT, like as soon as you get people in your house, they're gonna shut your account down because that's against the rules of those platforms. All right. I couldn't do this without you guys. But that was just because I was so convicted by WATERMINE and what it was doing in my life that I was just like, people ain't listening to me around me. I gotta tell somebody. That's just how I felt. That's how I got started. And I was watching people, I was watching other people like D and Marcia, and they were getting out there and they were just sharing their experiences, and it was changing their lives. And maybe some of these platforms shut down. But what I was starting to notice is that they were getting their money back early because they were just taking the risk and telling people about it. That is the life changing thing. You know, when you just decide to take a leap of faith and start telling the good news that you're having, and even when it goes bad, it's okay. Tell that because when you're talking about this, everybody understands that you're risking. Everybody understands this is high risk. Everybody can understand that it could not work. And if you don't understand that, then you don't need to do it. All right. That's flat out. I've said that a billion times and I'll say it a billion more. But at the end of the day, if everyone is handling these platforms right, they're handling admin right, they're being respectful, they're not jumping to emotion and all this different stuff. I've seen people like spaz out, and the next thing you know, admin just blocks them off the group. Now they ain't in the group no more, and that goes with all the different platforms, y'all. Like you come in the platform and you raise hell, and you don't come and talk to support and be like act like you need support. Like if you want somebody to support you, you ain't gonna cuss them out. That's not what you would do, right? That's not what I would do. I just kill them with kindness, man. I'm a positive dude, and I believe, maybe naively, but that's just how it is. I've made enough money to start changing my family's life, and that's what this is really about. We're here to change lives, even if it's just your life. If you're trying to do better for your kids, if you're trying to do better for your family, your last name, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you're trying to do and you're just coming across this space, just understand that I'm trying to do the same thing. That's why I'm documenting this, because this is a part of my legacy now. This is a part of what my children will see. My dad was, you know, out here helping people or helping himself or doing something, and it helped me to be who I wanted to be. You know, that's what I want to do for my kids. I want to empower them to be what they want to be. All right. So that's just a little rant there. But listen, guys, stuff like BITNEO, I always tell people it's high risk. It's as high risk as it gets. Especially when you start talking about daily forever. We already know you ain't gonna get these returns at a bank. Okay. This is crypto, it's the wild wild west. We know that. We gotta have all our securities on. All of that stuff is very important. But I just want to talk about how I kind of handle hypes, right? I do a little bit of research. I trust the people that bring them to me because they've brought winning projects before. And if I make more than I put in, that's a win, right? And if I take a leap of faith and just start sharing it with people the right way, then I can win. All right. So that's just a little bit of strategy for me on hypes. All right. And there are a few, and I'll stop sharing this, but there are a few platforms out here that I believe are more long term than short term, and I try to be very clear about that. You'll notice that for those ones that are possibly short term, I really emphasize the risk. All right, it's very high risk. It could be here today and gone tomorrow. Here today and gone tomorrow, like some kind of crazy car salesman, right? But I'm serious. I'm just being honest. And some of these admin will hit me up and be like, "Yo," they didn't even watch the video. They just see the headline or something. And because I'm getting a little bit of traction, thank you guys for that. Um, they're just like, "Yo, like, why are you saying it's a scam?" I said, first of all, I didn't say it was a scam. There's going to be few things that I call a scam in this space, and here's why. If it's paid me, it's not a scam. It's a system. You either work the system or you don't. All right. If you work the system, then you could win. If you don't want to work the system, then you'll probably lose, and you'll probably put a bad name out there for it, and you'll probably spend all this time talking negative instead of just learning a lesson, growing from it, and either deciding to learn and apply or decide it's not for you. I mean, everyone has those decisions. I have that decision. You know, there's been some platforms I invested in that didn't pay me a dime, and I've lost thousands. Okay. I've learned these hard lessons so that I can come on here and give you guys intense talks about what's going on in my crypto world. All right. I want you guys to understand. I'm not doing this because I want a whole bunch of subscribers or nothing like that. I'm doing this because it's changing my life. And if it can change your life, then maybe some of you guys can apply what you're hearing. So I felt like I owed the people that actually watch my videos just a little bit of strategy talk about what I look for. All right. The BITNEOs, the BITXTRAs, the ZOLIBITs, they are all different to me than the WATERMINEs, the MINERIFTs, the ZETBULLs. All right. ZETBULL is another one that has been around a long time. And I'm just pacing it out because I like some other ones better. Now, a few of you guys may like ZETBULL better and you want to, I mean, you get with the interface that makes you feel the most comfortable. That's the beauty of having a variety. And the beauty of having a variety is also being diversified. Some of you guys know that WaterMine is going through some things, all right, to say the least. And I have made my posture very known. I'm staying positive. I believe that they'll come through this stronger than ever. And a matter of fact, there is now a drive being had to bring back 2FA and WaterMine. So I want to do a separate video about that, but I'm just giving y'all a sneak peek for those that actually watch. All right. Um, what else? What else? What else? But yeah, I was saying there's a difference. All right. Some of these admin are the same with the BitNeos and the ZOLIBITs. And if you're doing any research in the Telegram groups, you won't see me talking in the Telegram groups too much. But be sure that I'm watching. Be sure that I'm paying attention and trying to figure out what people are talking about. And if you guys are those people, then go do that. All right. I'm not here to convince you to spend any more time with it than you do right now. I'm just saying that if you're one of those people that have put in some money and some big money, it's really time to start being the pioneers of learning and giving the real about the space. All right. I'm challenging those that have put some big money out there to really take some time and learn about these spaces and what they do, how they can work for you, the importance of getting in early, do some case study. All right. And even if you want to look at back some of the things that I've talked about, there's been programs shut down. Neos Tech was one of them that I got kicked out of because I set up me, my dad, and my wife without even knowing the rules. Top Toast was another one that about kicked me out because I had me and my wife still not knowing the rules until they kicked me out of Neos Tech. And the only thing that saved me in Top Toast was because my wife had never put in an active deposit. All right. So that's the only thing that saved me. All right. That's when I learned the lesson. Okay. Going further, when these other programs would come back out, that's when I started talking about it on YouTube and making sure that I was playing it safe. Didn't get nobody in my house involved. It's just me. It's just me. All right. I put in my own money and I worked the system. I churned it, and then I started to win. Okay. Then I just grew a pair, excuse my vernacular, but I'm just talking about myself. Then I just grew a pair and I decided I was going to get on here and be a talking head. And whoever listens, they listen. You know, whoever doesn't, they don't. And I'm not going to take it personally. People going to have their own feelings about things and they're entitled to them because I feel a certain type of way about things too. And I'm entitled to that. And I stand strong in that. So, um, but yeah, guys, it's really about managing risk, understanding how to play the system, how to get in early, how to make sure that you're being respectful and nice as you can, and really kind of if you're having issues, get in contact with the admin on the side. Like not all in the chat. Don't bring negative energy to any group chat. I could talk about that for another 10 minutes, guys. If you're a believer in these spaces and you're churning and you're making money and you're doing it the right way, you understand why they exist. You understand why the same few people are at the front of these things, all right? Because they work for a certain span of time. It kind of does take advantage of the people that get in way late, but that's the risk they take, and they should know that. And that's why I always tell people it can be here today and gone tomorrow, all right? So you can't take that on as a pioneer. You just got to let people know the real and then let the cards fall where they may. You know, you got to sprinkle the seed and wherever stuff grows, it grows. And where it dies, it dies. All right. So don't get too emotional in this space because we already understand we're managing risk. All right. This is high risk. but it could be high reward and it could change a lot of people's lives. And I'm here on YouTube to be transparent about my experiences, right? To tell everybody what's going on and what I'm experiencing. And I'll share some stories along the way, like the one I shared earlier about somebody that put a sizable investment in here. All right. And I want everybody to know that make sizable investments. Just know that the risk is there, and I already know that you know this. So I'm not. I don't want to challenge anybody's intelligence, but for anybody that does that, I do challenge you to just spend some time learning the culture of the space. All right, just learn the culture of the space. It'll start to make sense very soon because it makes sense to me, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. All right, so I'm not tying this to nothing. I notice how when I tie things to WaterMine, a whole bunch of random WaterMine people start popping up and saying positive or negative. Same with QUBIT. People gonna feel how they feel about QUBIT. I don't know about enough about QUBIT to have a strong opinion about QUBIT, but I know that it still has some programs that I like a car program. Like if I can spend whatever token they got and get a car, I'm gonna do it. If I can spend whatever token they got and get a house, I'm gonna do it. If I can spend whatever token they got to get an iPad or a Mac or something, I can do it. I'm sure some of you guys might want to do it. So they're still up, they're still running. As far as Watermine concerned, we're gonna touch a little bit of that more specifically a little later. But I'm for those that are just watching and stayed around this long. I don't even know how many minutes I've been talking, but for those that stuck around this long, my posture ain't gonna change by Watermine. And to be honest with you, I thank God it's a perfect storm because one is helping my channel grow because I'm gonna be out here talking about it and people are gonna be trying to figure out what's going on, especially those new people out there that haven't been involved. And two, when Watermine comes through this, and I do believe they will, all those new people that had doubts and said that this was just like every other platform that just goes into pending and then goes away and never pays, when they come out of that, then all these pending payments start going through, man, man, oh man, it's gonna be. I can't wait to see that energy that day. All right, I'm speaking into existence. All right, y'all that watch me, y'all know me. I'm a believer. I keep it funky. I believe in God. I pray, and I may be raw, but I believe that these things were placed in our face to learn about them. All right, learn about it. Take the time. I'm gonna share what I can. Um, without getting too complicated. And for those that watch me and that get this, then great. I hope you take it and you got something from it. We're about managing risk here, people. All right. That's what we're here to do. We're here to manage our risk. And if we can do that and we can do things the right way, and I'm challenging those pioneers out there to start YouTube channels and start talking because that's what can change your hype life. You start getting some people that kind of believe in what you're saying, and you start making an impact in people's life with your words and your testimony about the good things that happen to you in these platforms while keeping it very real and not being afraid to do that. It'll change your monetary life. And even if these platforms last a week, you'll be okay. People are going to come in late. That's the nature of the game. That's the nature of investing. Ask Apple, ask Google, ask Microsoft. They got people coming in late every day to this day. All right. So investments, you can't take that. You can't take a lot personal because it's business. All right. So I'm just keeping it real. This is just a sit down. Those that want to get something from this, they will. Those that don't won't, and I'm perfectly cool with that. But I did feel like it deserved a little bit of a talk about what I look like, what I look at, and I just use BITNEO as a short example because it's the most popular high risk platform. I'm literally getting signups from it every day, and I've had to not take it personal knowing that it's on day 17 and I got in on day 0. All right. So those that watch me, I'm gonna try to bring you guys things on day 0 to 3. You know what I'm saying? I know that when I put things out there, um, they're gonna be followed. All right. That brings stability to the company. So I have to take it upon myself to be smart about the ones I present. But just understand that everything that I present, I personally believe in. I always put my money where my mouth is if I'm talking about it, and whatever happens to you guys is probably gonna happen to me. All right. Well, whatever happens to me, it's probably gonna happen to you guys too. So that's the flip of the coin. That's the risk we take, right? I'm just a talking head. I don't claim to be a crypto expert or nothing like that. I'm just here to show you guys my journey. All right. So that's it. Make sure you put your 2FAs on all your wallets and all the platforms that will allow you. There are a few out there, and I talk about them in my videos. All right. So check them out if you haven't. Thank you for all the people that have subscribed. We've gone to just south of 500 subscribers in like 2 weeks. I've been talking to y'all for 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks maybe. So for those that are on the fence about starting YouTube channels, you should just start, but be consistent and talk about the ups, talk about the downs, understand the space, and be willing to make mistakes. All right, because we all do. Nobody's perfect, and I'm not ever claiming to be. But one thing I will do is fight like hell to change my family's life. All right, and those of you that feel like me, hit that like and subscribe. All right. 2FAs on all your wallets, all your platforms. Please, guys, because it's the crypto wild, wild west. And if you ain't strapped, you're bound to get hacked. Ask me how I know. I've gotten hacked before. Matter of fact, some white guy tried to hack me last night on CRYPTEX. Ain't that something? They sent me a note, and this white guy just smiling, talking about, my name is Jharol Smith. Get out of here. It's crazy the stuff that happens in this space. If you guys made it to this long, y'all just found out one of the topics I'm going to talk about today. I'm happy with CRYPTEX now. They caught that, and that's really the second time that they have caught a hack in my account there, and I'm pleased. I'm pleased by that. I understand that hacks can happen. They can try. Weapons may form, right? Right? But will they prosper? All right, let me get on out of here. I got some other videos to do. Thank you guys for watching and listening. This is for those that just watch me. I'm gonna just label this BOJ sit down strategy. Sit down / strategy. All right. And I'm just a talking head. Whatever y'all get from this, you get from it. And if it's too boring or something like that, y'all didn't make it through, then it is what it is, right? Y'all just want to see me make some money. You know how Outkast says, y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance. Peace out, y'all. Be easy and happy earnings to everybody.